Good morning. On my way over to a shipper here in Peckinyville, I think that's it. Peckinyville, Illinois. As you can tell, this looks like a great spot for a semi-truck to be. So let's see what we're working with back here. Got 3.8 miles till we get there. When I looked on this place on Google Maps, it looks like a place where like a log hauler would be picking up from. It's got like a bunch of tree logs on the side right when you pull in. I don't know.
Quarter miles, right to Hook Road.
I hope I'm not picking up logs. I don't even know how to strap that down. The way I saw it on Google Maps, it looks like I'm gonna have to blindside it off a street. We'll see when we get there. Maybe there's a place I can go in and swing it around or something. If you're just getting into this and you see a turn like this where it looks really tight, you're gonna stop back here, not at the stop sign, if you can, so you can see around the corner. And what you're gonna do after it's clear, you're gonna pull all the way over here like this and swing it around. Okay?
Arrive at 6885 White Walnut Road on the right.
Now in school, you're not allowed to do that. But once you get out here in the real world, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. All I'm looking for is a semi-truck or a trailer. I think I see a truck up there, which will be nice because then I'll know that I'm in the right spot. If I don't see one, then that's when I'm gonna get worried. But I'm pretty sure that's a truck right there. Yeah, I guess I'm picking up from here. Okay. So before I even attempt to pull in there, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw my four-ways on and we're gonna back up next to that other dude back there. Because I'm not pulling in there until I walk up and see what it's all about. There's not a lot of space to pull off on the side of the road here, but getting the right tires off the road will be good enough. Okay. Watch my mirror here. I don't mean look at it, I mean I don't want to hit it with this trailer. Alright. Okay. Let me go see what we're working with here. Alright, so I just went in there and I talked to a guy named Steve. Steve says they're behind and they're gonna have to reschedule. So what I gotta do is call my DM and let them know what's going on. They said it's not gonna be ready till at least Wednesday. So give my DM a call, see what he wants me to do. They told me if I keep running down this street about 3-4 miles, there's a power plant down there where I can turn around so I don't have to blindside into this tiny little dirt driveway thing right here. It's not that big of a street and I'm not really trying to do all that right now. So I'm gonna give my DM a call and then I'm gonna head on down to this power plant, turn around, and take it from there. All right, I see smoke off in the distance here, so that must be where the energy plant is. Otherwise, I'm gonna be backing it down one of these driveways here so I can turn around. I'm not going in there. Could turn around in here. Alright, let's see, what are we gonna do here? bring my trailer all the way over to the other side of the road there. Okay. I hope this gravel's packed. I'm gonna keep momentum on it so I don't get stuck. Last thing I want to do is have a tow truck come out here. I think I saw a truck stop on the way out here. So I'm gonna try and head over there. Figure out which way I came from. Alright, I came up this way. Here's a little Nashville truck stop. Alright, let's see if the GPS has that. Okay, here it is, Little Nashville truck stop. It says there's a Love's too. That's east. Where's the Love's at? I think this Nashville truck stop would be the easiest to get to, so we're gonna go there.
Please drive to highlighted route.
I sure will. This is telling me to go right. I don't want to go right. I want to go back the way I came. Let me see, if I go back up McKinney, it's going to bring me out somewhere up here. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. I would go that way, but I don't know what's down there, and I know what's down where I came. And it wasn't that bad, so that's the way I'm gonna go. I'm all for exploring new places, but not in one of these things. Okay, hey, here I am, Nashville truck stop. Been here for a long time.
You have 4 hours and 14 minutes of remaining drive time.
I got 4 hours and 14 minutes of remaining drive time. Thank you. Been here for 4 hours and 4 minutes. I don't know, they're having some problems with the broker or something like that. I don't know. My DM called me, he asked me if I had a name for whoever told me that I couldn't get the load. I did get the guy's name before I left. His name was Steve, so I told my DM his name was Steve. He just said, okay, I'm dealing with the brokers. So I don't know, I guess they're worried about who's paying who and when they're gonna get their money and stuff. I don't know. I'm just here, you know, I'm just hanging out. So that's one thing about me. I don't bother my DM, you know. A lot of these guys will be calling them like, oh, yo, get me out of here, man. I'm just sitting here, blah. I don't got time. That doesn't get you any kind of results. So I just sit here, and as soon as he gets me something, it's gonna pop up here on my box and I'm gonna start it. And then it is what it is. There's no sense in complaining about it. I did go in here, they got a restaurant in here, so I went in here to the restaurant and I got a fish sandwich. It was meh. The guy next to me got a burger. It looked way better, but I figured if the burger looked good, the fish sandwich probably be good, right? I was wrong. So instead of calling and, you know, asking a stupid question like, have you heard anything yet? I mean, obviously not. I don't have a load. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send my end trip macro for this load I was supposed to run. You know, when I send that, my DM will get it, and somebody else, whoever else gets it, and that will be like a little friendly reminder, like, hey, oh, maybe they forgot about me, you know, maybe they got a load and somebody forgot to hit send or something. Hey, I did a lot of driving yesterday. Didn't film anything. All I did was drive, you know, same thing I do every day. But what happened was I went back to St. Louis to a different shipper, grabbed a load from there, and brought it here to Wytheville. Have you ever used one of these things before? I don't know how I feel about it. It tickles. I try to leave the hair in there, but I always get this one rogue hair that's always like, it's either sticking out and curling up around my nose or like tickles inside there. It keeps making me sneeze or something. I don't know. It's weird though. About to load up this trailer. Gotta grease the fifth wheel real quick. Gotta keep it greasy. Now she's greasy. So I went to the shipper and I picked up my load. The load weighs 44,513 pounds. So pretty heavy load. So I slid my tandems before I left the shipper so I could drive to the Catskill. I slid my pins to the 13th hole. Once I weighed my truck at the 13th hole, my total came out to 78,620 pounds. I had 12,080 pounds on my steer axle, 32,140 pounds on my drive axle, and 34,400 pounds on my trailer tandems. Now my trailer tandems were overweight, so what I needed to do was I needed to slide them back. So what I did was I slid the tandems back 4 holes. When I slid it back 4 holes to the 17th hole, I was now 12,220 pounds on the steer axle, 32,960 pounds on the drive axle, and 33,420 pounds on the tandems. So this is legal right here. But what we have to figure out is, am I slid too far back? By law, the maximum length from the center of the kingpin to the center of the tandem axle is 41 feet. 41 feet from the center of this kingpin to the center of these tandem axles. So some companies have a marker on the trailer that tells you where 41 feet is. My company doesn't put that on the trailer. You might be driving for a company that doesn't put that on the trailer, or you might just be interested in how we figure out how to do this. So I'm going to show you real quick. So what we do is we come up here and you take a tape measure and you measure from the front of the trailer to the center of your kingpin. That's 3 feet for what I have my fifth wheel set to. 3 feet from the center of my kingpin to the front of the trailer. The trailer's 53 feet long and my kingpin is set back 3 feet. So that means from the end of my trailer to the center of my kingpin is 50 feet. We need to bring the center of this tandem 41 feet from the beginning of that kingpin. So if that's 50 feet from the end of my trailer, that means this needs to be 9 feet from the back of the trailer. So you measure from the back of the trailer up to 9 feet. That's the maximum length that your tandems can be set back. Okay, so the 14th hole was too far back. I needed to slide it up 1 hole, which would have made it, which would have brought the center of my tandems up to 41 feet. So I did that. Problem is, I already weighed my truck 2 times, and every time I weigh the truck, it costs money. So there's some simple math we can do to figure out how much weight will be added back onto my drive axle if I slide it up 1 hole. Okay, so basically we're gonna take the total weight that was on our tandems, which is our trailer axle, from our first weigh-in. That was 34,400 pounds. Then we're gonna subtract the weight from our second weigh-in, which is 33,420 pounds. That'll give us the difference in between the two weights. That gives us 980 pounds. That's the difference in weight that we took off of the tandems when we slid the tandems back 4 holes. So we need to figure out how much weight is going to go back onto the tandem axle if we slide the tandems up 1 hole. So what we do is we take the difference in weight, which is 980 pounds, and we divide that by 4 because we slid it back 4 holes. That gives us about 245 pounds per hole that we slid it back. So every time we slid it back 1 hole, we took off 245 pounds of weight and added that to our drive axle. So we want to add this to our new weight, which is 33,420 pounds. If I slide the trailer tandems up 1 hole, that's going to give us a total of 33,665 pounds on our tandem axles. About. That's still legal. It's pretty close, but it's still legal. Okay, so now we have the axles all straightened out. We're all legal to go. But there's still a problem. I have 523 miles to go, and I need fuel. So I want to get enough fuel that'll take me 523 miles. My truck averages 6.6 miles per gallon of fuel. So in order for me to make the 523 miles, we do 523 for the miles divided by 6.6, which is my fuel mileage. We get 79 gallons of fuel. Now that we know we need 80 gallons of fuel, now we have to look at the route that we're taking. I'm taking I-40 across. I'm going to West Memphis, Arkansas. So I'm going to be taking 40 across. But I'm going through Tennessee. Now Tennessee has a lot of hills, and they're pretty steep hills, which is going to cause my truck to burn more fuel to get up these hills. So I want more than 80 gallons. I want enough fuel to take me 600 miles, which gives me enough cushion that I know I can make it up these hills and down and get to the flat part of land. So I like a little cushion on my fuel mileage. So I want 600 miles of fuel. So you do 600 miles divided by 6.6 miles per gallon. That gives us 90 gallons of fuel. So I'm gonna fuel 90 gallons of fuel in my truck. The problem is, diesel weighs something. It weighs about 8 pounds per gallon. And we're gonna get 90 gallons of fuel. So 90 gallons of diesel fuel times the 8 pounds per gallon that we're gonna fuel it with is 720 pounds of fuel that I'm gonna put into the truck. Now there's 2 things you gotta keep in mind here. 1, the fuel tanks are by the drive axle. So we need to make sure that we're not gonna be overweight on our drive axle once we add 720 pounds of fuel to our fuel tanks. Okay, so after we did all the math for what our axles actually weigh now, after we moved the tandems up 1 hole so we could be legal at 41 feet from the kingpin, we're gonna add the 720 pounds of fuel onto our drive axle, because that's where most of the weight is gonna go. So we're gonna add 720 pounds plus our drive axle weight, which is 32,715. So that brings us to a total of 33,435 pounds. Now we can be 34,000 pounds on the drive axle and the tandem axle, so that we're still legal there. But we also have to look at our total gross weight, which is 78,600 pounds. So we're gonna add that 720 pounds of fuel that we're putting into the truck, and we're gonna add it to our total gross weight, which is 78,600 pounds. That brings us to a total of 79,320 pounds, which is still legal because you can be 80,000 pounds or less and still be legal on the highways. So now that we know that we can add our 90 gallons of fuel, which will get us 600 miles for our cushion, because we only have to go 523 miles, but we're going to be going over some hills and stuff, and I want to make sure that my truck can have enough fuel to get up and down these hills and still get me to where I want to go. And we're legal on all of our axles. We can go ahead and put the 90 gallons of fuel in our truck and we can get on with our day. All right, and that's how we figure that out. Whenever I got a heavy load, pull out the measuring tape real quick and figure out where my tandems can be as far back. Once we get that figured out, figure out my weights. Once I get the weight right, check my fuel and my route, make sure that I got enough fuel to get me across the route that I'm going, take into account any hills or anything like that so we can get up and down those, and then that's it. Then I can get on with my day. So I'm gonna go ahead and fuel these 90 gallons of fuel into my truck and head on over to West Memphis. If you learned something from this today, go ahead and leave me a like. Maybe you're a new driver that just got into trucking and you're having trouble figuring this stuff out. Maybe you're thinking about getting into trucking. Maybe you just think I'm a cool guy. If you do think I'm a cool guy, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and leave a comment down there and let me know if this helped you out, if it cleared anything up for you, or if you got any questions. If you do, I'll try and answer them the best I can in a future video. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later.